Okay, so I am tracing the rhythm chart on top of the skull. I'm also going to draw on top of the skull so you can start to see how theoretically you could put a drawing on top of this, right? I just want to get comfortable here. Let me shift things. Okay, so I'm going to go over, because a lot of the same questions were coming up. One of them being the first rhythm of the cranium. I gotta turn down the music because I have a issue. Let me get this. Alright, so the cranium. People are asking me, where do I put that sphere? How far do I go with the sphere? So this is that keystone I was telling you guys about. Right, it's kind of like in architecture, you have this keystone on an arch. You guys know what I'm talking about? There'll be that one rock. That's really important. So we have the hairline. I'm kind of arbitrarily picking the hairline. Here's the top of my skull. Let me scoot down a little bit. Top of the skull, but I'm going lower. And then you guys see right here how the eye socket peaks right about here. And again about here. All this area constitutes that frontal bone. I'm going to come all the way out here. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is not, I want to really reiterate, this is not something mathematical. It's a guide to help you. And then everything after this is now on the side plane. So this is this little area here, for example, is where you will start seeing a little bit of soft shadow when you're painting from the model. That's, there's actually a muscle coming on top of this. That's part of the temporalis that's filling up this whole area. But that's now on the side plane. Let's talk about the nose. I'm following along this beautiful rhythm that's provided to me by the skull. There is the edge of the nasal bone, and I'm just going to create a nose here. Remember there's that little bone we observed? I don't know, where's the good skull? Or whatever. You guys remember that little bone that's jutting out at the bottom? I'm going to just invent a nose here. Probably do a different color so you guys don't get confused. Something lighter. So here's that edge of the nasal bone. Remember, it comes all the way out. And then here is that rhythm going to the brow. Okay. Like so. Now I'm going to do the lips. I'm just going to draw the side of the face, though, for you guys. Zygomatic arch. This whole area fills with muscles and skin. There's usually little muscles in here happening. The ear is going to be about here. And I'm going a little bit further out because this is where the masseter comes in. And so you're going to have this filling with muscle. Like so. Okay. Let's do the ocularis oris. And I made the mistake already. I came way out here. When somebody smiles, you do not see the back of their molars. Thank God. That would be horrific. So I'm going to kind of estimate where the lips would be, probably coming out to here. And the lip is usually like right the middle of that. Make sure it's on the curve. Yeah. Bottom of the chin. And then here comes the zygomatic arch, and you can see, look at how beautiful this crosses right onto that bone. Same on the other side. I got the question, in this situation, how do we know, this was from Elena, how do we know where the ear is on the other side? That's a fantastic question. We have to visualize what the ear is doing on the other side. So a little cheat way to do it is if you know where the bottom of this part of the ear is, right? We don't want to measure the top of the ear. That wouldn't make sense because everybody has a different sized ear. So we're going from where it's kind of coming into the skull, and we're going to envision what that's on the other side. So you can take a little guideline, just shoot it across. So I know to come about here in this region coming out. Now this is a great way to show this. I'm going to show you a little bit about the eyeball and the eyelids right now. So we're going to put an eyeball in here. I'm more or less filling out the socket. Here, the eye's it's going behind the nose, right? It's like that. And now we're going to put the eyelid on top. This is a curve, this is a sphere. So we're going to go around the sphere. Same with the bottom, around. Guaranteed to look very creepy when we put this on white paper. But this is going to kind of help you visualize. See, in this situation where you have the eye behind the eye behind the nose, that's where everybody gets tripped up, right? That's a really challenging perspective problem. So what I've done is I've put the sphere behind, and I'm now just wrapping the orb with that eyelid. I'm going to do the same to the bottom. And y'all can put the iris in there. Probably going to look a little creepy. That's okay. A little shadow there. Okay. Now we should acknowledge the lips. So as Lisa was asking, she had been asking earlier about the curvature of that maxilla and that mandible, right? That's this area right here that's very cylindrical. So we just want to keep in mind that there is a curve happening here. That's why I have this line here. And the lips are going to be just built right on top. You can give it a little bit of structure. Like that. It's going to be such an attractive person. Are we missing anything else? Oh, we're missing that. I've also received a lot of questions about this rhythm. It's more triangular. Remember, this is bringing together many of the rhythms. It's bringing together this crease that will happen at the bottom of the eyelid as we age. It's incorporating the ocularis oris and the nasal rhythm. It's kind of your all-in-one. So now, see how she looks? She looks kind of horrific, but okay. There's some little proportional issues here, obviously. the lips are too low. That means, I think that's kind of my mistake. I was using the teeth as a landmark. I should have been more conscientious of the proportions of the lips and just keep it relative to that. How do they turn out? Do some people draw on top? That looks good. Very good, Elena. Okay, so that's a good little, that's a good kind of guide thing for you guys to have this tracing paper. And you can try this at home. How'd it go, Jose? Horrific, scary. This looks pretty scary. Okay.